Welcome back to CoinQuest coin lovers and collectors. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most intriguing and mysterious coins in American numismatic history, and that is the 1975 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. Now, before you rush to check your change, let us uncover the rich history, curious facts, and potentially high value behind this seemingly ordinary penny that might be sitting right in your pocket or coin jar. So let us start with a bit of background. The Lincoln cent, also known as the Lincoln penny, was first issued in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to feature the portrait of a real person, and it has remained in production ever since, with Lincoln's face gracing the obverse side of the coin. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the reverse originally featured 2 wheat ears, hence the nickname Wheat Penny, but this was changed in 1959 to feature the Lincoln Memorial to honor the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, and that reverse design stayed in place through 2008. So what about the 1975 penny? Well, here's where things get interesting. Most people assume a penny from the 1970s is only worth its face value, but in the world of coin collecting, condition, rarity, mint marks, and errors can turn a humble 1-cent piece into a highly sought-after treasure. The 1975 Lincoln penny was struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia mint coins bear no mint mark. Denver pennies have a small d, and San Francisco ones have an S. Though millions were produced, over 5 billion in total, not all were created equal. What sets certain 1975 pennies apart is not only the condition, but also the possible mint errors and extremely rare variants. First, let us talk about condition. As with any collectible coin, grade matters. A 1975 penny in circulated condition is typically only worth 1 cent, maybe a few cents to a collector, if it is slightly better than average. However, if you happen to have a 1975 penny in uncirculated or mint state condition, you might be holding something much more valuable. A coin graded MS65 or higher by a trusted grading service such as PCGS or NGC can sell for several dollars, and in some cases even more. Now let us look at errors. Errors are what often drive the price way up. For example, off-center strikes, double dies, die clashes, or struck on the wrong planchet are all highly collectible variants. For instance, a 1975 penny with a visible double die error on the date or the lettering can fetch anywhere from $50 to a few $100s depending on how dramatic the error is. Another rare variant includes the 1975 penny struck on a dime planchet, which results in a smaller size silver-colored penny. These are extremely rare and can sell for hundreds or even over $1,000 at auction. And there's even more to the story. Some rumors circulate about a 1975 Lincoln cent made of pure copper with an unusually high level of detail and a special proof strike, possibly intended for testing or presentation purposes, though unconfirmed. If you ever come across a 1975 penny that looks unusually shiny or has sharp mirror-like surfaces, it could be worth having it authenticated by a professional. Now let's talk market value. In today's coin market, as of 2025, the average 1975 penny in circulated condition is worth face value, but a mint state coin can range from $1 to $20 depending on grade and rarity. Those with errors can easily range from $50 to $200, and high-end or unusual variants can cross the $1,000 mark. Recently, a 1975 S penny graded PR69 DCM Deep Cameo proved sold for over $200 at auction due to its pristine condition and eye appeal. And here is the key takeaway: even though billions were made, very few were preserved in top quality, and even fewer contain interesting errors. So it pays to check your pocket change. Now you might ask, how do I know if my penny is valuable? Well, start by looking for mint marks. Check for any doubling in the text or date. Inspect for off-center designs or unusual metal colors. And most importantly, if your penny looks different from the rest, put it aside and consider having it checked by a numismatic expert. You can also weigh it using a small scale. A standard 1975 penny should weigh around 3.11 grams. If it is way off, that could indicate a wrong planchet. or different composition. Lastly, always handle potential high-value coins by the edges. Avoid cleaning them and store them in a dry, safe place to prevent further damage or worse. So in conclusion, the 1975 Abraham Lincoln penny is more than just small change. While most are common, there are some outliers that make this coin an exciting discovery for both casual and serious collectors. From rare mint errors to high-grade proof strikes, this coin is a reminder that sometimes treasure can be hiding in plain sight. Make sure to subscribe for more coin stories, tips on coin hunting, and updates on the hottest collectibles in the market. Have you ever found a valuable penny? Share your story in the comments below. And until next time, happy collecting, where we explore coins that could be hiding in your pocket change right now. And today we are diving deep into a coin that looks ordinary at first glance, but might just be worth way more than 1 cent. Yes, we are talking about the 1984 Lincoln penny. This little copper coin might be sitting in your coin jar or wallet right now. And while it says 1 cent on the back, some versions of the 1984 penny are worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on their condition and errors. So stay with me as we uncover the full history of the 1984 1-cent coin, the reasons behind its potential value, and what collectors are paying for it today in the current market. Let's start with a bit of history. The 1984 Lincoln cent was part of the long-running Lincoln penny series, which began back in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln. The design was created by Victor David Brenner, and it features the iconic right-facing portrait of President Lincoln on the obverse, or front of the coin. Now, fast forward to 1984, the Lincoln penny had undergone a few changes since 1909, most notably the metal composition in 1982. Before that year, pennies were made mostly of copper, but due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint changed the composition to a core of zinc with a thin copper coating. This change meant that some 1984 pennies were struck on the newer zinc planchets, which weigh about 2.5 grams instead of the older copper ones that weighed 3.11 grams. But what makes the 1984 penny so special is not just its metal content, but the fact that some of these coins were struck with a major error called the double die. This means that during the minting process, the die that strikes the coin shifted slightly, creating a duplicate or ghost-like image that can be seen especially on the words "In God We Trust, Liberty" and the date 1984. This kind of doubling is known as hub doubling, and it happens when the hub, which is used to make the die, impresses the design more than once in slightly different positions. The most famous example of this doubling on the 1984 penny is the so-called doubled ear Lincoln penny. In this version, you can clearly see what looks like a second earlobe just behind Lincoln's regular ear. This is the result of a dramatic double die, and it is one of the most sought-after errors among collectors. So how much is a 1984 doubled ear Lincoln penny worth? Well, that depends on the condition or grade of the coin. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with higher numbers representing coins in better condition. A 1984 doubled ear penny in circulated condition might be worth anywhere from $25 to $100, but if you have one in mint state condition, especially if it's been graded MS65 or higher by a service like PCGS or NGC, it could sell for several hundred or even over $1,000. In fact, some examples have sold at auction for as much as $3,000 and more, depending on the quality of the strike, the luster, and whether there are any distracting marks or scratches. So the next time you are sorting through your change or going through an old coin jar, be on the lookout for that 1984 penny and check Lincoln's ear very carefully. You might just be holding a valuable treasure. Now let's talk about where to look and how to identify it. First, grab a magnifying glass or use your phone camera with the zoom feature and inspect Lincoln's ear. If you see what appears to be a faint or partial second earlobe beneath the main one, then you may have the valuable doubled ear variety. Also check the rest of the coin for sharpness, and where coins with minimal scratches and a bright coppery color are more likely to command higher prices. But even if you don't have the doubled ear variety, some regular 1984 pennies can still be worth money, especially if they are in pristine condition. High-grade business strike coins with a red designation, meaning they retain their original color and luster, can sell for $20 to $50 or more just because of their condition. So it's always a good idea to check and maybe even send your best coins in for grading. Another thing to look out for are any other types of mint errors, for example off-center strikes, die cracks, clipped planchets, or broad strikes. While these are less common, they can still add value to a 1984 penny, and collectors love unusual minting mistakes. So what's the current market like for the 1984 Lincoln cent? Well, in 2025, collectors are still actively seeking these coins, especially certified doubled ear varieties in high grades. The demand for error coins remains strong, and auction prices reflect that. If you have one of these coins, now might be a good time to get it graded and potentially list it for sale on a platform like eBay, Heritage Auctions, or Great Collections. And if you're wondering how to get your coin graded, you can check out companies like PCGS or NGC. Both offer services where you can mail in your coin and have it evaluated by professionals. They'll give it a numerical grade and encapsulate it in a protective holder, which can really boost its value and trustworthiness. When you go to sell to sum it all up, the 1984 Lincoln penny might look like just another old coin, but it could be hiding a valuable secret, whether it's the famous doubled ear variety, a high-grade red example, or an unusual mint error. This little coin has a lot of potential value, so dig through your change, check your drawers, go through your old piggy bank, and keep your eyes peeled, because you never know when you might stumble on a penny that's worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more coin collecting tips, and turn on notifications so you never miss a chance to learn about coins that could make you money. Leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare penny, or if you have a 1984 Lincoln cent. We'd love to hear your story. And as always, happy hunting and good luck out there, where we uncover the hidden stories and surprising values behind the coins you carry every day. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on these money-making finds. Today we're diving into the world of the 2006 Abraham Lincoln 1-cent penny. That's right, the good old copper-colored coin that might just be worth a lot more than you think. Let's rewind for a moment and talk history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real person, designed by Victor David Brenner. It featured Lincoln's bust on the front and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse. But in 1959, to mark 150 years since Lincoln's birth, the reverse was changed to the Lincoln Memorial. This was the design used all the way until 2008. Now, fast forward to 2006, the penny still featured the classic Lincoln Memorial reverse and the iconic portrait of Lincoln on the obverse. But here's where it gets interesting. Most people overlook this year because it seems so recent and common, but depending on a few key details, your 2006 penny could be worth a surprising amount. Let's break it down. In 2006, the U.S. Mint produced Lincoln cents at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. You can identify the mint by looking just under the year on the coin. AD means Denver, and if there's no letter at all, that means it was made in Philadelphia. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 4.2 billion pennies in 2006. The Denver Mint produced about 3.6 billion. That's right, billions with a BSO. You might be thinking, okay, there's no way my penny is rare, but hang on. What makes some 2006 pennies worth money isn't just the year or the mint, it's all about condition, errors, and materials. Let's start with condition. Coins that are in mint state condition, especially those graded MS67 or higher, can fetch a premium. These coins are practically flawless, no scratches, no wear, and a sharp strike. Some of these high-grade examples have sold for $50 to $100 or more at auction. Now let's talk errors. This is where things get exciting. Some 2006 pennies were struck with doubled dies. That means parts of the design were accidentally stamped twice, creating a slight but visible doubling. You can often spot this on the date, the word liberty, or the motto "In God We Trust." Collectors go crazy for these errors because they're unusual and Hard to find a double die 2006 penny in good shape could be worth anywhere from $25 to several $100 depending on how dramatic the doubling is. Another rare error involves off-center strikes where the coin wasn't properly aligned during the minting process. If your penny looks like it's missing part of the design, or it's shifted heavily to one side, that could be a valuable error coin. The more off-center the strike, the more it might be worth. Some of these coins go for $100 or more. Then there are transitional and experimental errors, though much rarer. There's been talk among collectors of certain 2006 cents being struck on foreign planchets or on blanks meant for other coins. If you ever come across a 2006 penny that looks weird, sounds different when dropped, or feels lighter or heavier than normal, it might be worth investigating. You might also want to check the edges of your 2006 penny. While most Lincoln cents have a plain smooth edge, a coin with a reeded or grooved edge could be an error or have an interesting origin story. So what should you do if you think you've got a valuable 2006 penny? First, don't clean it. Cleaning can actually ruin a coin's value. Instead, handle it by the edges and keep it in a safe place. Use a magnifying glass to inspect for doubling or unusual features. Compare it to pictures of known error coins online, or consult a coin expert or professional grader. You might want to send it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC for a professional opinion. Now let's talk current market value. As of now in 2025, most circulated 2006 Lincoln pennies are still worth just 1 cent, but those in uncirculated condition can fetch 25 cents to a few dollars. Mint state graded coins in MS66 or MS67 have sold for $20 to $100, and rare error coins like double dies or off-center strikes can go for $100 to $500 or more depending on rarity and condition. So the next time you get change from the store or dig through an old coin jar, take a second look at those 2006 pennies. You never know what treasure you might have. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Have you ever found a rare penny in your change? I'd love to hear your story, and as always, keep collecting, keep learning, and keep looking closely, because the next big coin find could be sitting right in your pocket. See you next time.